Welcome back to the Quiksilver Pro France. Another matchup out in the water. Round number 3. Adrian Ace Buchan against Adriano de Souza. Regular foot, goofy foot, 2 veteran competitors out in the water at canoe. We're going to open up with Ace Buchan. Beautiful carve off the top for Buchan. Warbly face, does his best to get back into the whitewater there with a nice slash. Bounds off the whitewater and survives a little bit of the rinse cycle, no problem. Sure-footed Ace Buchan making the most out of this wave. And it looks like he wants to take it all the way into the shore break for some extra points and a pickup by the jet ski.
Watch out, Ace Buchan. That was kind of like that working man's. I mean, that I really liked. It's probably not going to score very high, but the actual foam climb.
That was difficult.
It was cool.
No, that was actually a very difficult foam climb. You can tell us about it, Pete.
Well, this entire wave was actually difficult. Look at all those ribs. Again, all that tide moving out or in. It creates the ribs on the face. He's driving through it, but this little climb, look how compact he gets, and he actually kind of got that back leg up and over. Very unique, and that's that spontaneity that Ace has. You know, he has won here in France. He understands you got to be quick on your feet and smart mind, make those adjustments in the water. But look, he just milked that thing all the way in.
Yeah, just going to be a fractional score for ADS to open up this heat. He's going to get right back on his feet, try to make up for that here. Arc off the top for de Souza, off the bottom. Another snap there. Always reliable to correct any type of problem he may have had, and that's exactly what he's doing on his second wave ridden. Just surfing this wave to most of his potential with great flow throughout that entire left.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that knee strapped up?
Well,
the back lit.
Here's the replay. You can take another look, Pete.
All right. I mean, he is wearing a wetsuit. Can't get too close, but it looks like there might be a little brace or just something going on with the wetsuit. But I mean, his backhand, it doesn't look like it's affecting him by any means. He's looking solid on the backhand as we've seen in the past from him. Now we've getting a surge of it coming in the tide, and sometimes you're just going to have moments that are a little bit rough around the edges, and you just got to compete through it. We've seen Ace get himself a 5 surfing a wave that did not have a lot of beautiful clean wall on it. It was a lot of bump, and he still manufactured a 5 out of it.
I don't want to give up any ground to Gabe Medina, who is absolutely tremendous, absolutely deadly at this break. So we'll see if Felipe Toledo can keep on pace. But right now, Adrian de Souza wants to keep on pace over Ace Buchan. Another swing at it right there. That wave didn't formulate a lot of opportunity. A couple of nice turns out the back, but nothing super special.
Water moving around in the extra bump. A lot of reps are probably a good idea. You know, every time you see a little bit of opportunity, you got to make an effort. Don't get too picky.
I take it back. That first turn was pretty wicked, but just the wave let him down. This has been a grindy event so far, but we have been trying to take advantage of every single window that we've had in the surf. Adriano de Souza backed up that 5.27 with a 2.17. He wants more on this left-hander right now. Snaps off the top. Works his way through this warble for another snap. De Souza up through the lip there. Vert with a quick turnaround. He finds more open face, and one more time. So multiple maneuvers for Adriano de Souza as he kicks out the beach, perhaps applying more pressure to Adrian Ace Buchan.
His situation, here's the replay of it. And watch this rhythm. I mean, when you think about top to bottom, you know, bottom turn, top turn, even in those sloppy conditions on the wave, he still executes that smooth approach. So hard to do. It's great rhythm. Very similar to what we see from Matt Wilkinson, but just top to bottom.
Buchan on the backhand, which is absolutely lethal. We call him the surgeon because of his scalpel right there and surgeon-like approach. Placing turns up in the lip, and that was a great example of that. So I like this exchange between Adriano and Ace. We're going to see who comes up on top of that because their first wave scores or the first scores in their score line are very similar. And here's Ace.
And It's Ace's attempt, and like you had mentioned, another surfer that is accomplished both on the forehand as well as the backhand. I mean, if you're thinking about this tour and being able to stay on this tour, you have to have weapons going both forehand and backhand. And
they got the best wave we want, so I think it's my side right now.
And moving into round 4, opportunity to get into the quarterfinals. You've already had such a great season so far. What's your goal for this event?
Was like just get the points enough to qualify for next year.
Kind of slowed up.
De Souza smartly utilizes priority on Adrian Buchan. He had to back out of that wave, and De Souza finding a nice left, looking to build upon his current lead. And from the body language, he feels that he did that. So a little bit of defense at the beginning of the wave to keep Ace off of that nice left.
Well, take a look at the replay. He covered some ground. Yeah, he had those projection type top turns. Sometimes usually when you see them use these turns, you're not moving down the line as much, but these a little more horizontal. He glides over these sections, and he needed to get to that open face, which really actually shut down fairly quickly. Looking to better a 5.27. We'll see if the judges like that style and approach. There was good speed in it to be in the lip, not necessarily on whitewash. But right now, conditions, not necessarily the cleanest.
No, you got to fight through this, and here goes Ace Buchan looking to fight through this left-hander. Beautiful arcing turn off the top, winds up off the bottom. No more opportunity. He's got to punch out the back. So that's not going to be the 6.01 that Ace is looking for.
And now he's got to fight the current on the way back out. One of the deals is if you kind of kick out at that midsection, you're going to have to fight it. And it's really hard to get in the right spot, especially when those bigger set waves come. So just the one nice carve, and then the wave shuts down, he kicks out.
Of the Big Wave Tour starts October 1st, ends March 31st. And Adrian de Souza continues to surf to a lead in this heat. De Souza with a beautiful wave and just found kind of a diamond in the rough out there. Smooth face and able to tee off numerous times. ADS with a nice finish. The applause, and rightfully so. Looking to better his low of a 5.27.
Was that a different beach break?
Look,
I mean, literally, he knows it. He gifted a beautiful, clean wall, but with that water moving, and that's the transition, the changes that happen out here in this lineup. This looks like a totally different spot. Look at how clean it is on the face. It looked like to me there was a wave that broke kind of previous to that one, so it was the second wave of the set, and just pulled that water all nice and buttery for him, and he just surfed the wave. Impeccable, top to bottom, all the way. Kept giving him sections to tag. So this is going to be the best number of the heat.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does. An 8.7 for Adriano de Souza. I'm not scared of questions. DM me, I'll tell you. 4.
Do you dye your hair?
No. You're funny. Ace Buchan up and down. So that was not what the goofy foot out of Avoca was looking for. Ace Buchan utilizing that weapon that he has on the backhand. Got a little caught up on that first turn. He's going to have to make up for that long stretching bottom turn. Gets a little bit hung up on the top there again. And kind of battling with this right at the moment, but making his most of it. We talked about how precision-based Ace Buchan surfing is, and I may have just jinxed him on that last turn.
Pretty rare to see him actually fall, but anything better than a 5.77 will help his cause, and he's a little frustrated there. You can see by the body language, looking at this right, thinking, okay, I can go straight up vertical on my backhand, but this wave just didn't give him the canvas. It really flattened out. Every time he got there into that section, it would flatten out, cutbacks, just not quite enough. You can see Adriano having a quick look over his shoulder. And then the fall at the very end did not help. So a low score for him, not going to change anything. Do you look at the upper angle?
Yeah, I love the delayed, kind of drawn-out bottom turn that Ace Buchan's able to perform anywhere. But just the top of the wave let him down there.
I think one of the keys to having that exciting backhand is the ability to kind of have that pace and tempo off the bottom. So you give yourself all that time to let the section set up for you. And I'm trying to think here. Here
we go with Ace. finds the left. Let's see if he's got that Hail Mary loading up for something giant. Beautiful carve. And has to come around this section. This wave is just not feeling like it's going to go into the excellent range. Fighting to the finish, though. Long running left. So Ace doing the best that he could out of the opportunity that was presented in front of him. I don't know if that was an excellent score just for the wave, and you need the wave to cooperate.
The Hail Mary, like you had mentioned, he's got to do it all on that one wave just because we don't have enough time. I mean, you see him with all this speed, you're thinking, okay, can we see him go above the lip? He gets the carve and then had to cut it short to make sure he gets back to the open face. But I don't know if there's just enough maneuvers here, enough critical maneuvers to make it happen and get himself any closer. Certainly not going to be a 9.43. I mean, we haven't even seen a 9 all event.
Yeah, that's right. We're waiting for the score, but the horn's going to blow. I think it's a foregone conclusion at the moment. We're sticking with live action right now.
This is, you know, if you're thinking about Adriano de Souza and where he is in the rankings as well, Ace Buchan, very similar spots. This is a big win for Adriano.